Jimbo?
They're good.
All right. Good day. Actually, a little cooler today. 90, that's cooler. 91. But, kind of what I expected for a first scrimmage, good and bad, back and forth. Some guys made plays. Sometimes there was a purpose. We was trying to either go with a defensive player to see a young guy play, or trying on offense to keep throwing balls to a guy and see his toughness. We were in this scrimmage trying to get a lot accomplished, put a lot of guys in different positions to be successful and see what they're capable of and push them. But again, like a lot of good, but then not enough consistency and some bonehead knuckle things, which I expected. First time they got out here in the stadium, first time it's live, first time it really means something, but not disappointed, but also not satisfied. We're right where I thought we'd be.
When we talk about those bonehead knuckle things, what are some descriptions? Is it just guys not lining up correctly?
Exactly. Would line up a foot wide or inside a guy instead of outside a guy, or confuse it with another route. And just the look, just panic, just play. The game hadn't slowed down enough for them yet to be consistent. It has to a point, but then to do it every time and all the little nuances that go with it.
So it was mainly with the underclassmen or more of the seniors?
Yeah. Well, no, there's only 9 of them, so.
Was the effort and the competitive?
Yeah, there was competitive. There was want to. There was competitive. Some nice shots in the game.
How did Sean and Everett look at quarterback?
Okay. I'll evaluate the film and wait and see. Had good and bad to me from standing behind, but we'll wait and see. What they see. Wait to the film exactly.
You've had a handful of practices. Has either of them started to separate from each other?
We're right where we are. We got plenty. Both got a lot of work to do, but doing a lot of good things too.
How nice is it to get into the stadium for the guys, especially the younger ones?
It is really, and I think it's critical because you just got to come in here and get used to playing in here. They always play real good over there. I tell them, I get 4,000 people come to practice show, we'd be heck. You know what I mean? That's you got to learn to take it to the field.
Are you still splitting reps equally at quarterback?
Yeah.
You said there have been some guys who've sit out in camp like Bobo, Kermit, so on and so forth. Did that extend here today, or were there?
Yeah, they made plays. But sometimes didn't get a lot of opportunities at times because we might have been trying to feature something else. We were doing all guys. We had a purpose for this scrimmage, not trying to get one guy a ball or really try to. It wasn't a game plan mode. You know what I mean? We're trying to run base things, base blitzes, base runs, throws, and try to make guys catch balls. Try to force guys. Try to call things to people and just see how they reacted right now.
So you didn't. Mario wasn't available.
No, he wasn't. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
But what does that do at running back?
Well, we had Patrick and Vickers, and then we had Freddie. But they got good. They got a lot of good work. He's fine. We held him out.
How did Patrick specifically look today?
Okay. Got to get a lot tougher. Got to get a lot. He runs physical and good, but you want to be a back. You got to line up, keep taking it. And he's doing some really good things, but you just got to get more physical and tougher and learn. Every play you got to go.
Any sense of which side of the ball had more?
No, I think both had their moments. You know what I mean? Both had their moments at times.
Derwin James, has he carried over from what you saw in the spring into fall here?
I noticed him a couple times a day. I'll have to wait and look at the film and really see.
Left side of the offensive line seems at least somewhat secure, but the right side, are you happy with what the right side's doing, or still want to?
I don't know how you know left side's all right. Who told you that?
I assume Rod's probably pretty safe at left tackle.
He's doing okay, but he's got to play better. Rod needs to get better. Being a starter is not the thing. You got to be the best player out there. They all up there all together. We got work. We got a lot of work to do still up there. But I'm encouraged.
Anybody in particular flash at you?
No, not really. There was guys off and on, but none like they'd flash a couple times, then would do something like I say, bonehead or knuckleheaded. You can't encourage a lot of that. You got to make these guys be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, not really. But again, there was a lot of really good things at the same time.
For those freshmen who are going through this for the first time, is it?
Oh, it's very wide opening. You saw guys first time they got it. You got to remember, so many guys. How many guys do you think in that scrimmage were the first time they ever started a scrimmage? Or a starter in a scrimmage. And that carries on to a game. And I think that's part of the growing process. You know what I mean? Then they settle down, and some of those true freshmen now, they come over and do some things they hadn't done in about 10 days. I said, wait till they put some people in here and turn the lights on the scoreboard.
Are you still happy with what you're getting from Jalen from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, he's very competitive. You see the guys that have been in it, they're being really competitive and smart and more consistent that way.
Jimbo, you had a lot of success with your quarterbacks, first round draft choices. Does it seem to you that so many teams, follow up everybody else, are having a problem settling on a starting quarterback? Or does it seem so many teams?
It seems to be a year that there is a lot of quarterbacks out there for some reason. That just goes in cycles. Just have a good run of great quarterbacks or senior quarterbacks last year, but there's still quite a few coming back. But It does seem to be. I think, and maybe it's maybe more teams to the top of the rankings. Maybe that's the problem that you see, because that's the ones you usually pay attention to. Seems like that.
I asked a couple of head coaches about quarterbacks, what the traits that they saw in them, look for them, and surprisingly, it wasn't necessarily active passing. One SEC coach said courage is the number one thing for them. What would be your list of things that you look for first?
There is no certain list. There is no one thing. It's the combination of things that one guy has that allows him to have a certain personality that transfers to the team, and then you got to feature what those personality things are. There could be a trait of 4 of them. It could be any 4. There could be a trait of 5, could be 3, whatever it is. But there's got to be a quarterback is too complex to have only 1 or 2 things you do well to be successful. I don't believe there's any one. There's a combination. Then what you have to do as a coach is recognize what that guy is and feature what that guy's physical gifts are, his mental gifts, and his psychological gifts.
His ability to lead too, right?
Yeah, that's part of psychology.
Did any of the quarterbacks lead a scoring drive in scrimmage?
Yeah.
The Everett or Sean on the side?
They both did.
Are you some of those young guys who are out with like getting dinged and things like that? Are any of those guys close to the
Yeah, they said 2 of them today. I can't remember which 2 they said now off the top of my head, but there was 2 of them may have back by Sunday.
And does it not getting them out there for several days have been behind?
It does, but we got enough. We still got 3 weeks. I mean, and first time ever, which is I'm kind of glad it's happened this way, that we got 2 weeks of school before we play, because with a young team, that's one last. You get them settled for a week, and then get back the second week. You know what I mean? Okay, I got this, and go into a game week. So we still got 3 weeks. We got tons of work to do, but you start to see where it's coming together.
Usually when school starts, it's like game plan week.
Exactly right.
How do you change?
Well, we'll still work some more. We'll stay practice at the same time, but we'll make them more camp practices about things we're trying to accomplish, and we may still work some game plan stuff in there. But I'm kind of glad about that, because I think the transition to class and all those things, I think, is much easier with an older, more mature team.
So one of the big things for Everett was he seemed to have everything on the chalkboard, whiteboard, but you wanted to see what he did in practice.
And you got to take it to the field, and then you got to take it to the field, and all these little things happen that you can't coach. The 10 to 15% of gray area, and see how they react to that.
How's he done?
Okay, had his good and bad, which is what I expected.